Hi, welcome to Steve Chats Wrestling right here on youtube.com. Make sure to like the video. Please subscribe to this channel. Remember to leave your comments in the comments section as well. So it appears WWE is getting edgier, as noticed on Raw, and PW Mania reports. Vince McMahon dropped the F-bomb. I already did a video on that. It was no accident. None of the Raw bending, such as foul language and blood shown on Monday's Raw, was coincidence. According to Wednesday's Wrestling Observer Live, it was reported that WWE is planning on making their television product more edgy from this week until WrestleMania. There has been rarely foul language or blood on WTV since announced in 2008, and their family programming had been deemed a PG television rating by the network distributors. There is no word if WWE plans to keep on the more edgy material after WrestleMania. So it seems that at the moment, and particularly WWE Raw, as reported on Sean's View Entertainment as well, check his channel out if you haven't already, that it looks like an edgier Raw is going to happen. We've seen it already with this week with the ambulance spot, the attacking the parking lot with Brock Lesnar and Dean Ambrose looked very sort of intense. The promo itself, of course, Vince with the F-bomb, but the segment itself, the story development was a lot more creative and a lot more to it than what there has been in recent times. And of course, yes, Triple H and Roman Reigns is quite barbaric, the way Triple H was battling on against Reigns. And one thing I thought was quite interesting with that as well is that Triple H actually used the sucker, he actually used the hand gesture, which was used heavily in the Attitude Era and hasn't been used for a long time really. Normally that's saved for special pay-per-views as well, so be done on a Raw. Of course, it kind of gives him more of a face reaction rather than a heel reaction at times, so that was a bit surprising to see that, as obviously they want Reigns to be the main face. But I'm not going to read too much into that at this stage. But of course, yeah, a lot more edgy stuff, more barbaric, and it could be more bending of the rules when it comes to language and also to blood and particular violence. For me, really, I like the way it was used on Raw. I don't think it should be used in every segment because sometimes it can be overkill, and I think as fans we get used to it very quickly. But at the same time, I think if a certain angle needs a certain bit of just a bit of edgy of a twist, then I think I'm all for it, because from a fan's perspective, a lot of WWE stuff has got repetitive and it got very obvious of where it was going and what it was doing. At least this way, at the moment, we don't have clear indications of what is going to happen ahead. I think there's going to be plenty of twists and turns ahead coming up in WWE TV, particularly with the Shane McMahon angle with Vince McMahon and also The Undertaker. The Undertaker is going to be on Raw this week. Personally, for me, I think that the storyline really has only just started. I think Shane McMahon has also been announced for the following Raw in Chicago on March the 7th. So it shows that they're going to continue the angle going. It's not going to be just that one trick pony and then we know what's going on at WrestleMania. It's going to build further. For me, looking at Raw, I've got a sneaky suspicion that The Undertaker is probably going to say that he's got no interest in helping Vince McMahon. So I think there's going to be a play with Taker and Vince on this week's Raw. Expect maybe Vince to give him everything he wants, but then at the same time I think there could be that slight moment where the Taker might end up having to put his career on the line if he loses. I hope I'm wrong with that, because I'd like to think that the Taker will continue on for another year. And actually I think the best way of a finish on early looking at this, I think the Authority storyline has gone as far as it can go, and I think that, of course, we don't want Taker really to lose another match at WrestleMania, but if it can be done cleverly to build a match for next year's WrestleMania, hypothetically say Sting maybe getting involved because he can't do a physical match, but maybe he will be around WrestleMania weekend, maybe he can do a small spot that can cause to get that one more match. We'll have to wait and see. Of course, Shane McMahon was the owner of WCW, so that could show as well some booking where it would actually make sense to happen. We'll have to wait and see what happens though, but hopefully that is not going to happen. As for the blood and all stuff like that, like I say, do it tastefully, do it in certain areas where it's needed. Don't overkill it, because otherwise we're going to be used to it very quickly and it will get boring and just basically the same as everything else that we're used to seeing on WWE programming already. It will become predictable and we will see it coming. But yeah, that's my opinion on the situation. What is your opinion on the situation? Are you happy with the fact that WWE is getting more edgy? Do you want to be a TV-14 rating rather than a PG rating? You have to remember that a lot of the Attitude was PG rating, even at times of a TV-14 market. We thought we were watching TV-14 stuff. It just was being stretched. It was made edgier. So if WWE can do what they did this week on Raw and it was a PG rating, well then why not keep it to this? We don't need to go too far with it. I think it's quite good the way it was on Raw. Hopefully they'll keep that going with not just the storylines that have been made, but hopefully with the other storylines to be developed as well. Remember, stars like Kevin Owens, AJ Styles, Chris Jericho, Bray Wyatt all need spots at WrestleMania, and hopefully they're going to get a creative twist just like these other superstars on Raw this week have got already. You've been watching Steve Judge Wrestling right here on youtube.com.